The biggest pain point in the marketplace is you get faced with that rejection head on, right? And so you may think you have something that people are going to like or respond or buy, but if folks ain't buying, you don't have a business. Number one rule in business is stay in business.
So then you ain't got a business.
So you realize, wait a second. What I was doing was good in a corporate setting because there were a lot of things that are already put in place. There was a lot of foundation. So now how do I change with what I'm doing? And so I really had to sit back and really understand what my strengths were, what my weaknesses were, and also what was the product or service I was offering to the market. Because if I can't articulate what it is that I'm offering, you can't sell it. So I really had to sit down and figure out in 30 seconds or less, you talk about that elevator pitch. If I meet someone that I think is a potential client, what is the one sentence I need to say to them to convert? Because that's all you have. So I became a master.
This is church right here. Yeah, come on, this is business church.
At understanding who my client base was, what they expected of me, how they saw me, right? Yes. And then also, too, if they saw me in the place that was accurate, if they saw me lower than I wanted them to see me, or maybe they had too high expectations for me, I'm like, and that's not what I'm offering. So I had to be very clear. And what I did was I hired a business coach. I'm like, you know what? I have some ideas, but I need some help with this.
Come on, sis.
I need some help with this.
Listen, I have never gone into anything new and not hired a coach. I've hired coaches that I actually believe I thought I was better than in a particular skill set, but I didn't have the experience. You know, so I'm just a big believer in that. At the end of the day, if you're going to do something new, get a coach. Always. Like sharpen your skill set. And there's never not a reason not to have a coach, but you might not have the resources or the depth of need for it. So I just always want to piggyback on that. So that is really, really, really tremendous. Just being able to understand what's actually needed when you're moving into a trajectory. You talked about that elevator speech. Like these are things that obviously I've learned in the last few years. We do enough life together to kind of know some framework. As you're at where you are today as the CFO of Randolph and Main Capital Group, you know, you talk about being in a place where it's almost like full bloom, all these skill sets, modalities that you've actually accrued in the fintech space. Tell me, you know, like what is this now looking like for you to the point where you feel full of life, vibrant, and contributing in this role?
Absolutely. So Randolph and Main Capital Group, leading fintech firm, leading firm in tokenization, a minority firm in the country.
Come on now.
Amazing, right? So there's going to be some great announcements in the next few weeks. Folks want to get involved. It's going to be big. So I just want to drop that teaser right there. Yeah. But so being CFO, it really brings all my skill sets together. And it's finally a position where I can actually do all the things I've been trained to do, what I've learned to do, and also the things that I want to do in one place. And that really is to help companies thrive, to raise capital, and to launch new products and lines of business. So that's what Randolph and Main Capital Group does. So our first vertical is real estate. So we're helping really to lower that gap of access to wealth for minority families. You know, there's a huge barrier to entry, even to get into real estate, let alone grade A commercial real estate. Correct. And so we have a tokenization platform that allows investors to come in at small fractions of $1 for what it would normally cost. And so the first product is the Fraxion Token. And then from there, we also launched this summer the Fraxion Marketplace. So now what we've done, we're helping other businesses do the same thing.
It's exciting. And obviously, another mutual friend. And of course, I'm a big advocate and ambassador to Fraxion Tokenization. Your CEO, Nathan Burrell, just more and more exciting announcements to come there. So I could kind of see it, right? So when you consider, you know, some of the sacrifices that have been made, personally and professionally, talk to me about, you know, I become very big on pedigree and mindset, right? Like, what have you endured that you really feel like you're uniquely fashioned to succeed in these environments, right? Like, you know, like everybody ain't built the same.
Yes. So I'm happy that you asked that because you know what it is change. I don't run away from change. I feel like I try my best to run to it. And I'm not worried about being scared. I'll do it scared. So I'm not worried about being embarrassed. If I have to do it and I'm crying, you're just going to see that I'm crying, and I'm going to still cry and get it done. If I'm going to do it mad, you're just going to see me mad, because I'm not really good with hiding my expressions. You probably will just see it on my face, and I'm going to be mad, but I'm still going to do it. And I think that that's the courage that you have to have in life, especially in the marketplace. Like, you still have to get it done. So if you have to cry, scream, whatever you have to do, you're still going to have to do it through that process, and then your emotions will catch up with the actions that you're already doing. Ooh. So I think that in every role and everything I've ever done, it's been that. Even, it's like taking on a new client, because my business is helping other people's business. So you have 10 clients and it's 10 different businesses. How are you helping them? Because now you're getting into the weeds of their life, their situation, and you're doing that 10 times, let alone what you have going on. Yeah. You have to do it and not worry about the emotion. And sometimes my clients will come back and say things I said to them. I'm like, man, I said that to you? I'm sorry. I didn't think... I didn't know it came out like that. Yeah, Ross said, squeaky wheels, the only ones, that are going to get greased, you got to speak up for yourself. Just all these different things. I'm like, I don't know how you heard that, but did you do what you were supposed to do? Great. Now let's go on to the next thing, right? So, being okay with just, it is what it is. Some days my hair is not going to be perfect. Some days my kids are going to be with me in the office, and it's okay. If I can't bring my kids around you and you're that much of a jerk, then we don't need to be doing business together. There we go. Right. And so that was one thing where I was able to raise my family and still move forward. Right. Wow. So my kids, they knew how to use a computer. They already had email at 5 years old. They already knew how to do a fax and how to put a memorandum together. That's because I needed support. Right. You're going to learn how to use this copy machine. Can you print this out for me? Can you change these margins? Okay. Can you put this binder together? Yeah. I need this done for the next client in 10 minutes. And such is on break. Okay. So you're up. And then you'll get some money to get some candy later. Right.